Shalom, Israel. How y'all doing on this Friday evening? I want to say all praises to the Most High Yahweh. And we want to talk about, I was just thinking about that scripture, Psalm 96:5. It says, all the gods of the nations are idols, but Yahweh made the heavens. Let's talk about that scripture. It says all the nations, gods, little g, are idols. But the scripture reads, Yahweh made the heavens. So it seems to me that only the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob was the only true living God. And if you think about Deuteronomy 28, when the transatlantic slave trade, when the Israelites were brought from the west coast of Africa and landed over here in America and everywhere else that the boats took them, all the other islands, and that the ships delivered the Israelites for punishment. There were other nations, and guess what? It says all the nations gods are idols. And when we came over here, they introduced us to what they called the Bible, which was already our book, but it was called the Book of Law. It was already our book, but the way they introduced it to us was different than it should have been taught. They taught it to us backwards or lawlessly. They didn't teach us the way that we should study the Bible. They just used the Bible to control us as slaves. You can't learn this stuff in Sunday school because Pastor Big Bank Hank, he's not going to tell you about it over there at the Shiloh Missionary Funding Bank Baptist Church. They're not going to tell you that about worshiping idol gods, which we were introduced to, because they actually believed that when these slave drivers beat the crap out of us, and just like Toby, he tried his best not to be Toby. He was Kunta Kinte. He tried his best. He said, my name is Kunta Kinte. But that whip, after so long, it'll make you say, well, my name is Toby. The same thing they did for us when they introduced Christianity to us. We were trying to talk Hebrew and say, hey, we worship the one and only Most High. You know, we don't, no, you're a Christian. That's what you are. You're a Christian. And that whip go across, watch out! I guess I love Jesus Christ. And that's what they introduced us to, a false idol who parades around like an angel of light. The reason I say he's Jesus Christ is because there was no Jesus Christ 2,000 years ago. See, people think that the Hebrews, Israelites, are Antichrist or something. Nope, you just don't understand. Our Messiah, the name was not Jesus Christ. And we found that out by studying. We didn't just come out of the air with this. We studied and found out that there wasn't even a J in the Hebrew language. There wasn't even a J in English until 400 years ago. So, you've heard this before, but still, how are you people not getting it? Okay? You're not going to hear this stuff on Sunday school. They're not going to tell you the stuff that we read the whole Bible. We study the whole Bible. If it cuts us, it cuts us. That's just the way it is. But Pastor Porkchop's not going to tell you. He's not going to tell you you're not supposed to eat pork. They introduced us to pork and slavery. They made us eat chitlins because that was the only thing we could eat, chicken feet, chitlins, and all the bad parts of the pig. They made us eat the pig. And now we think it's a delicatessen or something. Everything they taught us was going against the Most High. Everything they taught us was going against the Most High. They took the laws away from us. And if we don't live under the law, like they say, oh, that's old news. We don't live under the law. You know, we don't have nothing to do with the law. We don't. Well, why does he say, depart from me, you lawless one? You know, worker of iniquity. What happened? I thought we was under grace. Well, you need to understand that word grace in Hebrew doesn't mean the same thing it means in Greek. That's what they translated to. Unmerited favor. No, that's not what grace means. Grace means you're alive. And you got time to get it right. Why are you alive? And before you die, that means if you don't get it right before you die, your grace period is over. You're done. But the grace period that you have to live, this is when you strive to follow the laws and commandments and statutes of the Most High, Elohim. Because, you know, that's the only way we can please him. He doesn't hear your prayers if you don't try to the best of your ability to keep his laws. He doesn't even know you. You say, I'm going to pray. So somebody, a Christian, tell me, I'm going to pray for you. I'll be like, how you going to do that? He don't hear you. You don't keep his laws. You already said the laws are done away with. You go to church on Sunday. The Most High never celebrated, his son never celebrated on Sunday. No one in the Bible ever celebrated on Sunday. But still, you can read the book and ignore it. That all the Sabbaths that was in the Bible, all those Sabbath scriptures, you just ignore it. So that baffles me. Our people need to wake up. We need to wake up to what's going on. We are, like Deuteronomy 7, 6, and 7 says, we are holy people unto him. And we are the greatest people on the face of the earth. We were made for him. I mean, he made us greater than all nations. It didn't say equal. He said above all nations. That's what we can have if we keep his commandments and statutes and laws. That's what we can have, to be the greatest people on the face of the planet. See you running around the streets trying to ask your enemy for equal rights. We, Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. No, they don't, obviously. You've been marching for all these years. Ain't nothing changed. Obviously, black lives don't matter, so why try not being an Israelite and keep the laws and commandments? And then you don't have to worry about all that. He'll quit putting you to death running around the street, getting killed in the streets for no reason. That's not the people killing you. Most High taking you out. The Most High is taking you out. You're not keeping his laws and commandments. You're an Israelite. You're his. It's known now all over. Even the Jews in our land know that we are the Israelites, and they're shaking in their boots. So please wake up and study the scriptures, because you're serving a God that your enemies are serving. You're worshiping an idol. Everywhere the Israelites went in bondage, the Babylonian, the Arabs had us in bondage. The Africans had us in bondage. They all had their own gods, and they are nothing. And who makes you think America don't have their own God? Huh? They had their own God when we got here. He said, don't take on the ways of the heathen. If you are worshiping alongside the heathen, you're worshiping an idol God. If you go to church on Sunday, you're worshiping an idol God. That's what they gave us Sunday. We wasn't worshiping on Sunday. We didn't do that. That wasn't our cup of tea. That's why we will come over here on boats, because we started doing things like the heathen. We always want to get in with the heathen, think the heathen is gonna, you get up, that's gonna make me have it. I'm gonna name my child a heathen name so I can have a better life in America. Because if they hear my name Ezekiel, they ain't gonna like me. So I'm gonna name myself Brandon. I'm gonna name my kid Brandon, so he'll be able to. His name's Kennedy, so he'll be able to make it in this land. No, that's not the way it works. That's not your God. You need to bow down and acknowledge Yahweh God, the Most High, Elohim of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's what you need to do. Quit worrying about getting up the butt of somebody else so you can be good with them and smile. Hey, Mr. Johnson, I'm doing good. How are you? And all that kind of crap. You are the greatest people on the face of the earth. Out there fussing and raising Cain with signs talking about we want equality. We want equality. When you can be the greatest. Ain't nothing equal about it. Read the Bible. Deuteronomy 7:6 and 7. Ain't nothing equal about it. You are the greatest. I don't care what y'all say about me. I don't care if you hate me or not. You don't hate me, you hate his word. The Most High is not playing with us. He's not playing with us. And the sooner we realize it, the better, because more of us are going to be getting cut off. Scripture already says only 1/3 is going to be saved, and 2/3 is going to be cut off and die. I want to be in the 1/3. I don't know about you. I'm not afraid to tell people the truth or what's in the. If it's in the Bible, it's going to come out of my mouth the way I see it. It's going to come out of my mouth. I haven't been to seminary, but this right here, seminary will not help you. You can't learn this in seminary. Seminary teaching the people to bow down to the God of our enemies. That's all seminary teaches you. These people graduate. Yes, I have masters of divinity. I graduated whatever cemetery. That's what they graduated from, the cemetery. I graduated and I have a minor in psychology. Ain't God good? Ain't God good? All the time, ain't God? That's all they say. And he's sleeping with somebody's wife in the congregation. Lawless. Talking about the law's done away with. It hurts me because my heart, man, when I see the truth, and it's our job to tell people, and Yahweh gonna make whoever He choose to understand it and come out of the heathen ways and come away from the heathen and be His. He wants you to be His alone. He said He has severed us from other people. That's what He said to the Israelites. I have severed you from other people so that you can be mine. He's jealous. He wants us all to Himself and no one else. He said He's our God and none else. First of all, you need to realize and see if you got the DNA of E1B1A, Y haplogroup. Because if you do, you're Israelite. If you got off a slave ship, if your ancestors got off a slave ship, you're Israelite. But if you want to stay being a Negropean, and you want to be doing that kind of stuff like cooning and going on, trying to get in with who's not your Elohim, you thinking that if I get in with them, man, I'll have it made. No, just worship Elohim. Just worship the Most High. You get everything you need. And maybe you won't get everything you need here, But in the end, he said he was going to take us to our own land. To our own land, where we were going to have rest from all the hard labor that we served. And it's going to be a surprise for you. Isaiah 14:2. Read it. Isaiah 14:2. And then read on down and then get to 21 and see what it says. It's a big surprise for those who keep his laws and commandments and go to the land of God. Big surprise for you. There's going to be somebody for you. Now read that. Read Isaiah 14:2. Because you have to remember, all the nation's gods are idols. All of them. So, with that, I will say shalom and have a nice evening.